Well, besides being a dust bunny magnet, that is definitely dead. No lights, no sign of life. The fan runs on 120 volts, but oops, I forgot to take the batteries out. Might want to get on that. Howdy, everybody in YouTube land. What we have in front of us today is yet another WeatherSTAR 4000. Now, the problem with this unit, and this is my daily driver unit, which is right there. I took the faceplate off because we had some storms come through here earlier this week, and guess what? It has taken the life of my WeatherSTAR. Now, unfortunately, if I turn the power off, just kind of let it sit for a second. It's kind of dusty. This is a very dusty house. Nothing. No lights. No nothing. It does not work anymore. Also, you may have noticed that I am filming with a new camera. I had an awesome camera donated to me. This is a Panasonic DMC GH4, was given to me at VCF East 2024, which is awesome as hell. So, I love it. I love it. I love it. Alright, so unfortunately, this machine has died. So, we are going to have to do some repairs to make this machine work. That is where we are. You out of the way, just some squares and stuff. Don't need you right now. Now, when I last had this apart, I forget why I had this thing apart, but it does not have all of the screws in it. Because I think I've had this apart before, because I'm pretty sure I've had to do work on this power supply before. If any of you watched my previous WeatherSTAR videos, these power supplies have a known weak point, and it's a 100k ohm resistor in the soft start circuit that goes open. Now, this machine here was a new old stock unit. So, and what I mean by that is, when I bought this machine, the only reason why I knew it was new old stock is because when I read the EEPROM off of the board, it was all Fs. It was never initialized, which means it never saw its main program. So I'm like, that's interesting. Why did this thing never see its program? More importantly, it just kind of sat around for 20 some odd years before it was sold on. Then it became apparent to me when I tried to plug in an input video signal, it had no input video. Well, it won't download a program if it has no video input. And that's because the wire was broken off of the BNC connector, and it was only hanging on by the insulation, which I thought was relatively interesting. So, anyways, yeah, we're gonna have to shut this thing down and get it on the workbench. That's where we are. The good news is, at least I'm not down and out for the count, because I do have this one that I fixed earlier on. But anyways, yeah, we had severe thunderstorms roll through here, lightning storm, and ever since the power went out and came back on, that is unfortunately dead. So it is what it is. But the only thing we can do is just try to repair it, see what happened to it, see if it's the same fault that I think it is, which would be unrelated to the lightning. But if so, it could have been a lightning strike that caused this problem. So let's get it apart and let's find out. And the problem is the tripod is now in front, so I have to work around the tripod. Whoa, I can't even get all of that into view. Alright, guess what I forgot? I forgot my drill that has the Robertson screw, so give me a minute. There we go. Alright, now this friggin' camera is in autofocus mode, so I don't know. This camera has a ton of buttons and features on it, and I don't even know where to begin with it. So it's one of those things, it's like, okay, I gotta figure it all out as time goes on, but that's not a big deal. It would be awesome if it was something simple, but I have an itching suspicion that it's not going to be. So here we go. And there is the inside of a WeatherSTAR 4000. Unfortunately, me in my infinite wisdom, I left the batteries in here. Those should not be in there, but anyways. So, okay, now I need a power cable, because what I want to do, oh man, look at the felt building up on that. Very, very dusty house. Very, very dusty. So yes, in case you haven't seen it before, which if any new viewers of my channel, longtime viewers likely have seen it, but the new viewers of my channel probably have not. And I want to show that here in a second once I get it plugged in. Yeah, still no power, still no lights, still nothing. Not surprised there. But in case the new viewers of my channel have not seen it, that is our data card that I had designed for this board, or for this machine. So this is using the front end that was off the original data card. I just copied the design. I'm using the original PALs. Using a different CPU, and that CPU interfaces with this Raspberry Pi here, which is acting as the original satellite host. Now the audio section is not populated because this machine doesn't need it, as this machine is going to be used for just displaying the weather data over time. So that's what we got. Yeah, these batteries are actually original to the machine, by the way. So we have that. Okay, so looks like that these are just not, these aren't tightened. These are just hand tightened. In order to get this power supply out, I actually have to, wow, that's friggin' epoxied in there, JB Weld. I probably oh, that's why it was apart, because the power supply had broken free from shipping. That's the problem with this. I don't like the design of these units. They aren't designed very well as far as the chassis itself. So we can probably blame Northern Telecom for that one, because they're the ones that built the chassis. All right, that's the I/O card. We got to get it out of the way. All right. Hey, it's easier to get out now. So this graphics card is the card, the reason why this thing was new old stock, and it's because you see this wire right here, that had snapped off of that BNC input. Actually, it was this one. You can see where I soldered it in. It's not very good, but yeah, that is why this thing was new old stock, because it was broken right here, and that prevented the video input signal from getting into the unit, so it wouldn't work. But yeah, anyway, so, and that is out of the way. So this EEPROM was never initialized either, because when I read it out, it was all Fs, which is how I know this machine was basically new old stock. Okay, so that gets us down to the power supply. And just do it this way, because these are Robertson screws, so you can't just use any. Yeah, it's not even really wanting to get in there either. Yeah, Robertson. Not okay. Focus. Yeah, so it focuses better than my phone does. I'll give it that. I'm constantly checking in on this camera to make sure it's still recording, that we're writing to the SD card, and that my camera is actually getting audio from the microphone, because brand new setup. So I don't know yet how this video is going to turn out. It may turn out great, it may turn out terrible, but we'll just have to see about that. Okay, I'll leave that for now. Then I need my Phillips screwdriver, and this power supply is essentially dead. So unplug the power so I don't nuke myself. Unscrew that there, there, there. Also, I do not remember if this power supply has been recapped. It may not have been. I don't recall. But yeah, there are screws in the back here that have all your secondary wires and stuff on them. There's red, which I think is 5 volt. Black is ground, of course. Orange might be 12 volt. And then green and blue are like -5, -12. And I think there's another 12 volt coming out, which goes to the battery charge control board, which is critical because it feeds standby power to the backplane, which goes to the CPU card and all of that stuff. So it is critical that board is working, and if it goes bad, it can shoot higher voltage into the bus. So you've got to be super careful. And I wanted to disable that board in this chassis, but I don't think I ever got around to doing so. Like I said, I don't like this design so much because it's very hard to get things in and out of there. Anyways, we have the prize. We have the power supply ready to go. So let me clear all this off the bench and we can get down to this power supply and take it apart. All right, well, I got the camera repositioned to an area which I hope will actually work out. So now the trouble is it's kind of hard to move things around in here, and I've got to work around this tripod now. So carefully not bumping the tripod. So what I want to do is I want to make sure this meter can actually get in the view here. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So I can just do that when it comes time to testing the power supply, because right now we can't use the bench meter because it's not possible to do that. I'm thinking about changing the overhead camera because I have that weird anchor or whatever, Amcrest. That's it, Amcrest. It's an Amcrest webcam, and the picture on that thing is awful. There was 1 or 2 videos I uploaded earlier which has that, and I've also got a lot of pending footage with that camera, but it's almost unusable. It's terrible. So I'm probably going to get rid of it. But anyway, so now that is what we're going to do. Now the offending resistor is right here. Let me adjust the screen so I can see what we got going on. Yeah, there we go. So the offending resistor right here is R4. So R4 is our resistor that tends to fail on these. But before we go that, what I want to do is I want to check the fuses to make sure they're okay. That one is. That one is. Oh, ooh, we got some reefas in here we need to get rid of. We all know what reefas do now, don't we? Yeah. Anyways, does this thing have the original cap still? It does. Oh, these have the original capacitors. 1000 at 25 and 330 at 35, which I don't know if I have any of those. I really do not know, but because I'd like to put some caps in here. Yeah, let's see, when was this power supply made? 94. Let's see, 94, 32nd week of 94. Okay, so there we go. Now, 100k ohm resistor. This is a metal film that for some reason likes to go open. And as suspected, it is open. So we've definitely got issues here. Let's see, because I don't know if you can see that in the view or not. Probably. There's a glare on it. That's a no. Let's Try to get it out of the glare. There we go. So, yeah. Open. Let's see, what does this one test like? Oh. Negative 2.3 meg. Well, I mean, I'm probably reading through capacitors there, but there is why it doesn't work. It is open. Open, open, open. Just to verify that this is the case, I'm going to go ahead and clip that lead, because sometimes it... Yep, open. So that's why it doesn't work. So the power supply died because it decided to say, hey, I'm going to clip this one too because it's the exact same resistor. Nope, that one's still good, 99.3K. So that one is not open, but it probably wouldn't hurt to be changed anyways. So, yep, that resistor is open. So we need to get this thing taken apart. Hopefully. Yeah. Okay. I need you. I need you. Why are these in here weird? Yeah, you gotta take all these out. Alright. Because I bet as soon as I replace that resistor, it's going to work just fine. Because if you follow the circuitry, there's the resistors coming off the positive rail, and it comes across and goes down here, and it feeds trickle voltage into this circuit here. Then once it starts up, there's a rectifier diode right there. So once it starts up, the power supply then takes over and powers itself. Because once it's on, it's on. It never needs to shut off again at that point. It'll just stay running. And then eventually it just dies. But yeah, that resistor went open. Who knows why it went open? There could have been like a short, or not a short, but a voltage supply issue with the power company when the power went out. Because the power did go out during the storms. And that's never a good thing. So, okay, resistor is completely removed. Let's get you out of the floor because it fell over as usual. All right, so once again, move you out of the way. Let's check that resistor. Because I bet you anything that this guy is open. And it is wide open. Okay. Bad. Very, very bad. Okay. So I'll turn you off. There's no blown fuses, so I don't predict there to be any other problems with this power supply. I do want to find out one thing, though. I want to hear sizzling. No. No sizzling and no bad fish smell. Nope. No burnt fish smell. I will fix these though, because there's some issues there. The other thing that happens with these power supplies is these potentiometers get dirty. So you have to work them with some deoxit, which causes, because what'll happen is the power supply will run and then it'll just randomly shut down on you. Get rid of that pin. So that's open. And this one over here is going to be open. It's not open now, it will be. I'm getting low on those. I have to order some because I've been using the crap out of them. All right, so there we go. 100K, brown, black, yellow. So I'll take you. Let's just do you there. Now, are these metal film? No, but at this point, there, all fixed. So now I just got to get the other one in over there. So are you in there? You in there? All right, good enough. So now that that's been repaired, I bet this power supply runs perfectly fine now. I bet it does. So I'm going to set you right there in view, like that. Then I'm going to grab my meter, which this is a little bit challenging sometimes. Shut that off. Get the meter ready to go. Make sure it's not in the glare. It isn't. Don't try this at home, folks. Please, please observe caution when working on stuff like this for obvious reasons. So, neutral, line. Now, I'm not going to run this long, and the reason why is because that's your main transistor, and that transistor is responsible for, it's the chopper transistor. That's what drives the transformer, and there's no heatsink on it right now. And there was originally, so yeah. Here we go. Bingo. How about that? It's working. So we have you. We should have 12 volts. We should have -5, -12, 5.1. That's the auxiliary power. It runs the standby. Okay, so perfect. Love it. We are fixed. We are fixed. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go through my bin and see if I have these reefer caps, because these things have got to come out. Some of them have a main reefer right here, but this one does not. But yes, we are 100% operational. So let me go grab some reefers and get this thing put back together, I think. But we are fully operational now. That is awesome, and I am happy that there was no lasting damage with this. All right, so now that we have the power supply functional, I think what we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and replace those reefers with our replacement safety capacitors here and here. Well, the same thing. They're only Y class, so they're not as critical. And while I have it apart, I might as well do all of the electrolytics and just get them out of the way. And of course, I got things falling off of my table behind me because there's no room in here. But anyways, so yeah, there we go. So now I'm back on the camera microphone because I want to hopefully recap this. So here's what we have to do. Oh, I can see that one leaking too. Yeah, it's done. Yep. That sucks, but it is what it is. Get in there. All right, we are now ready to reassemble the power supply now that we have all of the capacitors replaced. I'll move those out of the way because they kind of got bent. But yeah, I think we're golden now. All right, so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and grease up actually all of these yeah, I forgot to turn the mic on that clip. Whoops, but it's fine. All I did was adjust this potentiometer and clean it out first with the deoxit, adjust it, and I was getting the voltage at 5.2 volts, which is where it's supposed to be unloaded for this power supply. So we are golden. And of course, as soon as I turn the camera on, I get messaged again. I love it, but it's fine. Alright, so in case anyone is curious, this is the model of power supply it's the SPL 130-4102P. And yes, before anyone says it, in worst case scenarios, you can use an ATX PC power supply in here. It has all the same voltages. It will work. But I'm trying to keep things original as I possibly can, to a certain point anyway. So, because hacking an ATX power supply in there would definitely look kind of wonky, in my opinion. But hey, anyways, I have to order some more 1000 microfarad caps. I have to order some low ESR 330s and 470s. I don't know where mine are. I probably ran out of them because I used the crap out of them. And I gotta order more thousands. I gotta order more of these resistors. But anyways, yeah, so there we go. Time to clean out this nasty thing. course, I would lose the straw. These cheap things need, yeah. Very nasty. Very, very nasty. Very nasty. Alright. It started raining on me and the hose blew off, so we're just gonna do this a different way, I guess. Okay. We have lights. We have lights. Now, the next question is it going to boot? Here we go. I think it's going to work. You can kind of see what's happening here in the camera. Maybe a little. I don't know if you can see the blue LED or not. You can kind of see it. There it goes. It's booting. You can see it downloading the program. That's kind of cool. The yellow light, or this flashing amber light, actually means the program is running on the CPU. So the CPU card is functioning. Now it's downloading all of the other assets into memory right now, which takes a little bit of time. We're currently sending icons, which you can't really see it because I'm looking at the console. But yes, the power supply is fully functional. It's actually working. So I did not lose any of the logic in the thunderstorm. Really, it was just the power supply. And it was the same problem that all of these power supplies have, and that's that 100k ohm resistor goes open. This is like the fourth one I've fixed so far. And the last one that it happened to was the one in the rack, and then the time before that it happened at the VCF Midwest show in 2023. So this is like the third time for me in my personal systems, but I fixed them for other people in the past. So yes, it's still downloading to memory, but it's working. Oh my God, it is working. Sending the radar color palette, it's setting the clock, now it's sending the base maps. right now. As soon as it sends the base maps, it's going to send the radar cuts, which it takes a bit of time to download. Actually, I don't know if you can see it, but it's on the computer over here. I'm gonna actually rendering radar frame right now. Downloading the latest local radar frame, rendering local radar frames. So there's no more flashy because it's actually rendering frames over on the Pi locally here. And then it's going to upload that to the machine here in a minute. And as soon as it does, it should come online. I hope. This takes the longest time because it is not fast working with ImageMagick. It uses ImageMagick to slice up the radar data and render it down to something that this thing can display. Sending local frames. Now you see that flashing blue light. Boom. Now we're online. This thing should be outputting video right now. We got a green light. That means we're fully up. Yes. We should be golden. And if we look carefully, you can actually, if you look very carefully down into that green LED, see that LED twinkling? That's because the CPU is taking time to render the product. So this thing is fully functional. We are alive. Johnny 5, we are alive. Alrighty then. So it's time to go hook it back up and get it put back together and test it all out, in my opinion. Weighs a ton. That's the way it goes for now. See how that's coming up in the camera. There we go. All right. So we're going to need that to boot up. All right. So hopefully it should start downloading its program. And I'll be back when it's about ready. Alright, let's see. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Nice. It's working. Yes, it's working. Awesome. We now have a functional WeatherSTAR 4000. There we go. It just fired off the presentation engine. And yeah, we are good. I love it. Awesome. So there we go. We had no logic board damages. The problem was self-contained in the power supply. So, was it caused by lightning? Or was it inevitable to do it anyways? Considering I've already worked on 4 of these. So, I don't know. It's a toss-up. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and all of that fun stuff. And please feel free to leave a comment if you have one. And thank you for watching. Until next time.